So here's an interesting question. What happens when the grift stops working? Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire hit with layoffs across a number of teams, largely in Nashville headquarters. Apparently, this might be up to 50% of their staff. Or maybe it's not, because who the hell knows in the modern world. I kind of just think that this is an interesting story to take a look at, to just realize that fads come and go, and in today's modern media landscape, the insanity that we're currently seeing is in fact a fad, and I would argue it's starting to get a little bit boring. Is it starting to get a little bit boring, or it's been boring for a while now? Now, I remember when news used to be the news. Like, you could complain about CNN because maybe their reporters weren't the best, or maybe their stories weren't the best, but it was still news, right? Now you look at CNN and who knows? Who knows what the hell it is that you're looking at anymore? And it does seem like that has happened to the entire media landscape, right? Fox News back in the aughts realized that personality and RARs sold better than actual news, and so they hyper-focused on that. CNN was starting to fail, CNN was starting to have problems, so they started hyper-focusing on the RARs and the emotions and all that kind of stuff. And then people realized, here's the interesting thing about journalism. To be clear, real journalism is expensive, right? If you want to create a new journalistic endeavor, that's going to take a lot of resources and a lot of energy, right? There's a lot of moats around that to be able to get good, valuable information, to put reporters in the field, to be able to fact check and do all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing. Doing commentary, yeah, it doesn't really require much, honestly. You grab yourself a lapel mic, you grab yourself a smartphone, you start talking into it about what your opinion is. That doesn't actually require a whole hell of a lot. And so I think what happened, right? Fox News became successful, and CNN went down that route, and MSNBC was doing whatever the hell MSNBC is always doing. And then YouTubers and social media people realized, right, I can't compete with old school CNN, but I think I can talk better into a camera than these current jackasses. And so then we get to this whole cycle where journalism becomes basically opinionated people screaming into cameras. Again, it was interesting with Tim Pool. I remember when I was excited about Tim Pool. I remember I was like, wow, I wonder where this is going. Remember a few years ago, might be like 6 or 7 years ago now, Tim Pool was going to create the new CNN. What if you created CNN, but you built it in 2020 instead of 1990? What would that look like, right? I remember when he would take his little video camera and he would show the little news van that he was getting spec'd out, and he was going to hire reporters to go all over the country and actually do frontline reporting. I remember that. To be clear, I don't know what's happening. I have not seen Tim Pool in a little while now, but last time I saw Tim Pool, basically he had created a CNN for the 2020s. That looked a whole lot like the CNN of 2016. Just opinionated people screaming into cameras, because it's like, wow, specking out a van and sending people all over the country or world, that's expensive and hard. Not sure if I'm going to get the return on investment on that one. Sitting in front of a camera and venting about stupid crap on the news. That's some easy money. That's not too hard to do. Anyways, and so I think we've been going down this whole route again, the whole rage bait route, the whole clickbait route, the whole commentary people screaming into a camera. But one of the things I think that hasn't come up, the whole question is, like, what happens when people get bored of this? Right? What happens when people get tired of just listening to people scream about shit, right? As our society continues to fail, right? As hospitals continue to close, as our education system continues to get worse, as all of these problems mount up, at a certain point, right, the whole raw just gets to be a little tiring, and I think people are more focused on the practical things. Again, I'm curious to see if by the 2030s, maybe, who knows, probably not, because it's the modern world, maybe we refocus into something like the news. So anyways, that's what's interesting here. Taking a look at the Daily Wire. Now, to be clear, I really don't have too many opinions about Ben Shapiro one way or the other. Again, like, I think he's a grifter, but like when I say I think he's a grifter, like words have so many negative connotations sometimes. And again, I'm Buddhist. When I say he's a grifter, I don't actually put a negative connotation on him being a grifter. I just think grifting is a hell of a way to make money in the 2020s. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the game. Figure out how you can play the game so you can put money into your savings account. Anyways, when I look at Ben Shapiro, I really don't. Again, I don't agree with his opinions. I don't agree with much of the stuff that they posit. But I also think he's grifting for most of it. So I don't actually put a lot of emotion into what he's saying because I'm not even sure he believes it. Like that's the weird thing we have in the modern world. Like what happens when you're selling authenticity, but people know that the authenticity you're selling isn't really real? And so I feel like that's what we're getting to. So anyways, but this is kind of curious, right? Daily Wire is now doing layoffs. Does this posit a change for the new media landscape? Again, that's one of the things that was interesting, right? Wasn't that long ago? Remember when BuzzFeed was supposed to be the future of media? And now, is it bankrupt? I'm not even sure what's going on with BuzzFeed anymore. Remember when Vice was media for the new generation. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Vice with anymore. Again, what's kind of funny, and this is what you find in the technology world, and that's where I try to keep explaining. Like we have all these failures. We have all these failures that aren't from that long ago, and I want you to understand. This is why I talk about artificial intelligence, and I talk about the fraud of artificial intelligence. Why I want you to understand that I'm so frustrated about the fraud of artificial intelligence is we've already seen this fraud so many times before. We've seen the fraud of NFTs. We've seen the fraud of new media. We've seen so many of these frauds where we're told this is the future. This is the future. Anybody who doesn't agree that this is the future is a complete and utter Luddite moron. And then about a decade later, it's all dead. You're like, huh? Well, that future did not last very long. And so anyways, again, that's one of the interesting things. Look at this. Again, like with the whole new media landscape, it was amazing. In 2010, new media was the future. Now a lot of it is dead. Anyways, if we go here, the Daily Wire has been hit with another round of layoffs. I do think this is interesting. I think last year they did some layoffs too. Ben Shapiro's right-wing media company confirmed the layoffs in a statement to the media on Friday afternoon, saying that impacted staffers span, quote, a number of teams, and the layoffs were largely concentrated at the Nashville headquarters. Quote, today, the Daily Wire made a difficult decision to restructure the organization, which included layoffs to a number of teams. We are deeply grateful to those impacted. Their contributions were instrumental in building the Daily Wire into what it is today. Thank you for all your help. Thank you for all your sacrifice. Get the fuck out. Well, fair enough. Look. You work for a right-wing media organization. Don't expect to get a pat on the head when you're shoved the fuck out the door. Anyways, the statement continued, quote, the cuts were largely concentrated at a Nashville production office, and the company has invested in new formats, locations, and production models. Our footprint there has evolved. Over the last year, we have added production staff in DC, Northeast, and Florida. This step allows us to focus our resources on an ambitious slate of new entertainment projects set to release this year. Additionally, we will continue to invest in our editorial team and investigative journalism, where we have already added numerous new reporters across the country and established a DC bureau with a seat in the White House briefing room. Candace Owens, hey, remember Candace Owens, who worked at the company until 2024, also commented on the layoffs at her former employer. She hinted that at least 50% of the staff was affected. That has yet to be confirmed. Quote, hearing that the Daily Wire laid off over 50% of the staff today, Owens said on X, quote, as much as I positively despise what their execs put me and my family through, there are a lot of good people that work there with families to feed who could use a prayer. However, Brent Shire, the editor-in-chief of Daily Wire, refuted this claim, and others similar to it on X on Friday, writing, yes, the company had layoffs today. It's always really tough. No, it was nowhere near 50% of the company. That's insane, and also insane to post without verifying. But he didn't actually say what the number was. 50% is ridiculous. That is insane. We didn't lay off any more than 49% of our staff. I will have you know. Anyways, So we'll kind of see where this goes. We'll kind of see, because I think that's the whole. It's like the push and the pull of what society wants, the push and pull of what's popular and cool, right? And I do wonder with the batshit insanity of the Trump administration, and the batshit insanity that's like follow Trump. I talk about this with the mentality, like there's just this. Again, like everybody has glommed onto it. Again, CNN has glommed onto the Trump mentality. MSNBC has glommed onto the Trump mentality. Left is on the Trump mentality. Right is on the Trump mentality. And you get to a certain point in time where people just get tired of it. They just get exhausted of it. They don't really want this anymore. It's like shaky cam. Remember in the aughts when shaky cam was everywhere? Remember when shaky cam was cool? You're like, wow, this TV show has shaky cam. That was awesome. And then at a certain point, you just get fucking sick of shaky cam. You're like, shaky cam's giving me a headache. I wonder if this, like the new media landscape, is it the new shaky cam? We're all gonna be like, yes, I did like it back in the day, but we all know this is not how to do journalism anymore. I don't know. It'll be interesting because I think the big thing here, like the big argument with new media and how everything is shifted, is the whole idea that the right knows how to meme. Again, there's this whole argument that the left, they just don't know how to make jokes. The left doesn't know how to laugh at anybody anymore, right? When everybody is a victim, then you can never punch up. Ergo, you can never make a joke about anybody. Ha ha! Right? That's one of the big problems, right? So there's this idea that the left can't meme, the left can't joke and actually have fun anymore. And so the concept is that the right is the cool kids, because they know how to joke, they know how to fun, they know how to chillax about things right before they put a boot in your chest, because it's the American way. But anyways, I think what's kind of interesting to take a look at here is the whole idea of like, what if that is a fad, like so many other fads, and that starts falling apart? Like what does media look like? What does new media look like? What does social media look like? And again, when I say Trump is just kind of like a stand, like in that post-Trump-ish era. I don't know. Be curious. It'll be curious to see. So what do you think about this? What do you think about the Daily Wire doing massive layoffs? Again, think about the Daily Wire doing layoffs. Again, after BuzzFeed, I think they're bankrupt. I don't know. BuzzFeed did whatever BuzzFeed did. Vice did whatever Vice did. Like all these new media companies, how they're just not. They're weird. They're weirdly not quite the future that we were expecting. And what do you think about, again, like for things like social discourse? Do you think people are getting tired, just fundamentally tired of whatever it is we've been doing for the past decade or so? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. Do remember, you can now get these videos or these podcasts or whatever on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts now. So there should be some links below. If not, Google search them. And with that, see y'all later.